Cool.
Tux, thank you very much for joining us. And they're saying they are the Trolls, that's the name of their brewing club. And they are probably the least experienced team to ever come from Tux. They only joined the brewing club in January of this year, so they are 10 months old. They're the babies. Come on, Tux.
All right. Good evening, fellow beer brewers, tasters, and of course, indulgers. We are the Tux Brewing Club, and we are here to present our team, brewery, and of course, our beers at this year's InterVarsity Brewing Competition.
Okay, on to the team. So here tonight is the core InterVarsity brewing team. We have our captain, William Bosch. You know this because he's holding the honorary plucky in our team photo. Our most passionate brewer, Evander van Heerden. Luke Steele is the one we give all the horrible jobs to, especially the cleaning jobs, because he's the lighty. And myself, Maria da Silva, the organizer and resident slave driver. We would like to acknowledge our Tux Brewing family, and most importantly, Prof. Mike, who steers this mad ship and imparts his wisdom and extensive brewing knowledge. The brewing family at Tux are known as the Trolls, which is where our brewing symbol comes from, the Norse symbol for a troll. We think it was because our brewery started under a bridge or something like that, but the real reason is because, well, we're all chemical engineers, so we hate sunlight, prefer not to talk to people, and will only come out under our bridge if the incentive is really good. And it looks like alcohol was the key.
All right, guys, so onto the equipment. We have a cozy little setup in our brewery underneath all of our bridges. We go on, and thank you very much. We have a big HLT. This is big enough for all of our brewing water, as well as cleaning. Then we also have a combined mash and lauter tun and a kettle. Not included in the photo is our grain stand, as well as all of our pipes, fittings, and way too many equipment to actually list.
Okay, so let's go on to the more important stuff, the beers. So firstly, we have our Munich Helles Lager, which we call the Klarer Bier. It is a traditionally brewed clean lager, brewed to the Reinheitsgebot, of course, with many malty sweet flavors and a balance of bitterness. The grains we used were Pilsner and amber malt, and the hops were Saaz and Hallertauer Müffelflower. And the yeast was, of course, Lallemand Diamond Lager yeast. The name Clara means bright and clear, and the femininity of this name perhaps reminds us why man invented beer. Next, we have our summer beer, which is HMS Dad Bod. The summer beer presented is a Leicht. When brewing this beer, we wanted a light, refreshing beer, perfect for a hot summer day that makes one fully relaxed. The recipe is based on Pilsner, or is a Pilsner recipe, but with high carbonation for the ultimate fizzy freshness. The grain is a Pilsner malt, along with amber malt again, and the hops we used was once again Saaz, with a German efficiency liquid yeast. Our label design was based on the much-loved Tux building, Die Skip, or the ship. We decided to name the beer HMS Dad Bod, referring to the ship and, of course, the round, stocky body shape that all fathers tend towards, especially after they've discovered beer.
Our sour beer, for the sourworm fans, our sour beer has gone through lactic fermentation, which causes the fruity esters that one can pick up in this beer. We did a spin on a pale versions by toasting the wheat before mashing, giving a toasty, grainy taste to a thus otherwise tart beer. The grains used were wheat malt, pale, and Pilsner, and Saaz as the hops. The traditional symbol of Berlin is the Berlin bear, and we wanted to keep that symbol for our beer, calling our beer the Grizzly Weiss.
And now on to our Decipher This IPA. Big, bold, and brilliant. This American IPA is the metaphorical bomb. The smooth beer was brewed with SAB Pale Malt, the Caro Munich 1, and Amber Malt. The hops used were Citra and Lemon Drop, and all of this was fermented with Lallemand East Coast ale yeast. The beer drops in at an OG of 1064, so beware, time is limited to decipher this puzzle.
All right, and our final beer is the African Wild Ale. So we decided to go for a sweet mead with a raw honey sourced from the Pretorian Botanical Gardens. The honey that was used has extreme floral flavor with hints of aloe. The honey was diluted with purified water so that all the flavor development was run by the honey and by the yeast. The wild yeast was cultivated from white grape skins and was then used to inoculate the honey-water mixture. This resulted in a floral sweet and floral sweet mead. The results with low carbonation to allow for a bit of acidity. We decided to name it the mead the African Queen Bee to honor the main ingredient honey, and we hope it steals the show like all queens do. Always remember, Tuks of Nooks, so drink UP.